Alright, so I'm going to be casting, this is my first time ever casting a game, but I'm going to be casting a silver scrim between my friend's team, Mexican Cat Ranch, and then Dragon Tails, I believe. I think they're number 1 in silver right now. But pretty much, we're just going to see how this goes. Map is CP Steel, which hopefully, since we've been doing this for forever at this point, should be not as confusing as it was previously for teams, but most of what I'm going to be looking for, I guess, obviously the blue team, who's Dragon Tails, they're expected to win this since they're a higher ranked team. I don't know a lot of the players on their team, but they're like 7-1 on the season, so they've obviously been winning games. So I think a big thing for Cat Ranch is just going to be how well they can transition on their defense, and then on offense, how aggressive they can be in terms of really making sure that they can effectively push points. But here we go, we're going to be starting. I'm just checking to see if there's anything interesting that goes on. It's probably going to be a pretty typical push for A. Just, you know, normal stuff. Don't think there was any weird sticky traps going on anywhere. Okay, this trap on the point, it is spotted out, so hopefully no one should die to that. And yeah, red team's just going to start backing up right here. Very nice, solid A push. Now, an interesting thing we're going to see here is it looks like the heavy did drop down from that little ledge. So that means they're probably going to push straight into E, or they're going to go drop down. It looks like they're going to elect to take it drop down. Heavy's going to go back through spawn, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, so we're going to see right here, the red combo is over here. Their demo is not over here yet. And blue's just going to pop right in. They want to get that early aggression. And they do not get the gun. That was a good play right there by Tora, the red NG. So blue did get the Uber exchange, but they're not going to get the gun. So as long as that gun goes back up, oh, but they lose their demo and their sniper. Okay, that's not good for them. Red should just give this up at this point. I mean, blue has the numbers right here and the aggression that even though they have good heals, they're not going to keep the point. Yeah, so very solid take by blue right there. That was unfortunate that the demo went down right at that time before they had a chance to really get the gun up. So now we're going to go into a C hold probably, although an interesting question is going to be, you know, blue's been playing really aggressive. Are they just going to get aggressive right over to E, or are they just going to do all 5 points? And it looks like they are just going to come through that wishbone area, just staying aggressive. And they're going to see if they can just get a pick. Red Demo is still not with his combo. He just got up, I believe. I don't actually know where he is. Yeah, he went out with different spawn, I think, to contest the flank a little bit. Red loses its heavy. They do get the Uber force. I don't know exactly what forced that. I think that was a play by the spy, actually. I think he ambi headshot the medic. They do get the medic. That's a really nice play from Hyde right there. And they're going to Uber out right here. Hopefully, looks like a little miscommunication. The heavy was at 12. They could have gotten the pick off that. All right, well, right here, though, they're going to have to give up the points. The smart play to do right here with the way Steel works is going to be to really deny blue from coming through this death hallway, as it's known, which it does look like the red demo's going to do. Oh my god, his sniper just saved him right there. So really just make sure that the blue combo's not going to try to push in through here. And then as soon as you make that decision, switch over to a lobby hold with your combo. And that's really the safest way you're going to hold this point. Because you're trying to hold D and E at the same time. And the other team really only needs one of them. Usually when a team caps D, it's pretty much over. But also if the team is just going to pressure into Wishbone really heavily and go for the point, you need to be able to counter that. So we do see red starting that pretty typical hold that you see with a combo. They need their demo with them. Where is their demo? Demo's up, like, on C. I don't know what he's doing right now. But the red combo is just going to start holding in lobby right here, which is pretty normal. Right now, it looks like blue is doing kind of, instead of trying to push for D, which would require them pushing in the lobby, it looks like they're letting their flank kind of poke around, keep the combo in lobby for red, and then they're pushing through Wishbone with their combo. But I'm seeing, this is really weird. Okay, so teams don't usually do this because it's kind of sneaky and it takes a lot of time. But we're actually seeing the blue combo come into this death hallway right here. The sticks are called, okay, but he does not know to death them. Okay, so their red demo is called, but they're going D at this point. So right now, the red combo needs to either say, we need to aggress this really quickly and get the force off on blue, or, oh, I had a little game stutter right there, or they need to get out so that they can try to contest. And so what they're going to try to do right here, there's only 2 people up right now on D, and I assume what they're going to try to do is come back in after this Uber. They kind of have their demo up top and their heavy from lobby. Red gets a saw, they get the pick on the mid. Okay, this should be a good hold from red right here. Okay, so red is going to want to just reset to their hold right now. Do not drop their medic. They cannot afford to drop their medic right here. Okay, so right now, blue did get a lot of good presence out here on E during that push, where they kind of took over this jail area. But their combo does have lobby, so if their combo plays it smart, they called out that sniper, that's good. they can kind of slowly bully the blue team out of this E area. Because see, they don't have any time on it. So they have some positioning right now. Yeah, and there you see the soldier's going to go out. This demo right here does get the sniper, but he should be maybe not a pick per se, but he's going to want to back out. Yeah, his health's pretty low. They were really close to getting him right there. So we're going to go back to kind of the standard stalemate. And once again, this is really interesting. We're seeing the blue combo push through this death hallway. A lot of teams don't like the really long rotation like that, because what can happen if you rotate your team all the way through on offense through C and then to D, during all that time, your flank and your teleporter can go down because you have no numbers, and that can really start to slow your push down later if you're not able to really have any good aggression. So once again, we see blue. They don't have Uber yet. They're on D. Red lost their medic. I feel bad. I did not see what happened right there. So Red's 2 up right now. I don't know what happened. I was talking. So they're going to try to conch in, see if they can get the medic. They're putting good pressure on them. They got them down to 10 health. Okay, and it's really, really important they don't lose their medic right now. They have good defense on D right now. They just got to play their heals. No time is on E yet, and they're going to give it up. Okay, that was a really nice play from Keith right there. Again, they got the pyro and the medic, and then they're just dropping players right now. Okay, that's a full wipe from Red. So what Red's going to want to do, and I mean, at this point, like I was saying, you know, if you lose point D on steal, it's really, really hard to protect. So the good news is they do have time to get respawns. So they're going to want to try to see if they can coordinate some spam. Usually what I like doing is sending maybe a soldier or your demo wishbone with like a scout to protect them, and then trying to send someone lower, and then sending the rest of your combo through lobby to see if you can make a play. But it's not really looking like they're going to have enough time to do that because they kind of kept bleeding the players. They be going together. So that's going to be the round right there. Really what you want to do in a case like that where the point's really stacked, you're only going to get one shot to try to get kills on the point. And so what's really important is identifying who's going to do what play. So are you going to have your demo go through Wishbone, and he's going to spam, and really making sure you get all that coordinated spam and maybe a Milk or a Girardi on the point at exactly the same time. Otherwise, they'll just pick you off one by one, because a lot of teams will stack maybe 4 people on the point and then have a couple people watching each of the entrances into E, and that's where it becomes really hard to contest them. So 5:45 time. It's pretty fast. There's certainly, I mean, if you do a really fast A to E push, you can do 2-minute times on steal. But 5:45, what we're probably going to see out of the blue team right here, Cat Ranch is going to probably want to try to mix it up. They're going to want to do something a little bit different. I'm guessing they're probably going to cap A, cap B, and then maybe after C, or maybe before C, they're going to try to do some pressure onto E and see if they can kind of start forcing the defense to move how they want them to get some free captures. Or maybe just get E if they do it correctly. So pretty normal hold we're seeing. Again, the sniper is really aggressive up here. We're going to hope he doesn't get a pick, that red sniper. Okay, he does back off. So normal offense right here. Is there a sticky trap on the back of the wall? It looks like he's just spamming stickies. Yeah, stickies are down. Maybe are there some on the point? There are some on the point still. Hopefully that scout knows to look for them. Hopefully he knows to look for them. He's right next to them. Okay, the pyro got them out. All right, so we're going to see red. The demo's still hanging out right here. He's not really doing much. He's just spamming the point. It's really hard as a demo to try to spam A from a safe enough position that you don't get caught out. So red's going to back out, which is pretty standard right there. We're going to see blue. It looks like, yes, they are rotating to push B, which is what I was expecting, because a lot of teams will try an AE push, but the problem with it is unless you do it perfectly, you just waste time. So kind of the safer play is to at least get B before you try to consider your options. And so you see, yeah, you see kind of these 3 people over there, the blue team. You got the NG, the Scout, and the Pyro. And they're being aggressive, starting to put some time on E to see if they can draw someone away from B. But they're not going to be able to probably accomplish too much there. Really, you're going to want to wait until blue pushes. And I don't know what blue's doing right here. They just lost their sniper, and Ubers are even. I don't know if they're waiting for a pick or if there's something going on in their comms right now. But in this type of situation, you have to remember you're the offensive team. Really, if you're not being aggressive, it doesn't hurt the defense unless you're assuming they're going to make a mistake. And so really, even if you have an Uber exchange, even if it's not great, it at least gives you time. You recycle the Ubers. Maybe you'll get a pick or something. Maybe you get the gun during the Uber. But it gives you the opportunity to make something happen. And right now, it's just kind of this slow bleed where all they're doing is dropping a player 2 at a time. Their flank has kind of given up, it looks like. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so back here on E, I don't know if anyone's called this. Their NG, it looks like... Where is he? Their NG built a teleporter back in Death Hallway, and he's going to build a level 3 on C. So this means if they get a successful push out right now, where if they can get B, which it looks like their push did fail while I was distracted looking at this NG play, but if they get that push successfully, the red team's going to be really crushed right now. This is a crazy aggressive play out of this NG. And it was really caused by the fact that the red flank barely was paying attention to E at all, so they were able to get him in with that scout and pyro as a distraction. Scout does take down, it looks like, the demo? Yeah, so the red demo's down right now, red spy. So they're probably going to... I would try to push it off of this. You don't have Uber, they don't have Uber. You do have a little bit of an ad because you guys have been taking more damage. But really what you want to do is at least take some space. You know the demo's down, so you don't have to worry about a trap. And the blue demo right there gets a pick on the heavy. What he needs to do right now is just not die. Okay, they're taking space, which is great. The demo's not going to be up for a while. He just got up, okay? But they have Uber. They should just Uber in right now. Get the gun. Great pressure. All right, so red team should back out right here. This is really hard to hold at this point. You know you're going to have Uber. Oh, they lost their med in that push. Okay, so red's going to want to back out right here. And it'll be interesting to see, does that sentry catch anyone? Sentry catches the scout. He gets the rescue ranger kill on him. So they know there's a sentry on C, and it'll be really interesting to see how they try to deal with this. Okay, the demo's been told there's a sentry. He dies to it. Okay, and this might work out really well for the blue team right here. They're going to start getting that cap on C right now with the NG, and that means they can kind of start playing into lobby. So I expect we'd see, yeah, we're going to see the blue combo just try to head into lobby as if they already captured C, and also be able to pressure E. So this is a really, really interesting technique from them. I don't know if I've ever seen a push like this. This is a little bit weird and a little bit interesting. Okay, they should get that soldier right there. Let's see, do they have anything on D? It doesn't look like it. I mean, the NG for red, he's already admitted, let's just go minis. And they're going to Uber right into them here. They have ad. So if they can just... And then they're going to have the level 3 down there. This might be a push. This might be a really successful push out of Cat Ranch. Wow. This is exciting. Yeah, that should do it. Their scout's going to get the cap. There's no one that can deny him right now. The other scout's just spawning. He's going to try to milk him. If he doesn't lose the 1v1... Oh, he does lose it, but they should be able to have someone else jump in and help him out. Damn. All right. That's a really good round. Okay, so the half goes to Cat Ranch, who probably put up, I don't know what that time was. That was maybe a 4-minute time. It was quite a bit faster. But wow, that is really impressive. All right, that's not what I was expecting. So really, I think a lot of that came down to the NG play on C, where he got behind him, and really that forced the rotation. That's what I was talking about. So if you're at a disadvantage or you're not comfortable with the time you have to push into something, what you really want to do is on a map like Steel, where it's all about rotations and can you kind of sneak something by the other team. That was the perfect example of saying we're going to try to surprise them and force them off of their normal game plan, which is just a called rotation back to C. It's going to be really nice and easy. We're going to force them off of it, and we're going to see if we can convince them to do something else. And really, that's what they did. They were able to have a couple people die to the sentry on C, trying to take it out, but with no coordination. And then as their combo and flank moved right into E in lobby, they were able to just pick up the rest of the frags, then lock off that spawn with the Uber. That was a very nicely executed push. That's beautiful. I've seen a lot of different pushes on Steel, and what they really come down to is, can you put what your theory is in terms of how you want to distract the other team into practice? So, looks like they're readying up right now, so let me see if we can look at these logs really fast. Alright, so, doesn't look like anything too crazy. I'm a demo main, so I like sorting by damage a lot. But it looks pretty even between the teams. I mean, the frags were pretty similar. The red team got a little bit more frags, nothing crazy. A little bit higher damage. Ubers were pretty even. They did get that drop onto S-Dog, though, and that, I don't remember exactly when that happened. I think it might have been on second, or not on second, on B on that defense, but I'm not positive. But that's interesting. Tanked the hell out of their heavy. How did Half-Light's game go? Was he just going crazy? I mean, yeah, he had a good game. 444 DPM out of a heavy. That's crazy to see. So it's an interesting strategy. I mean, it was clearly working for them. I think they kind of had their demo roaming around a little bit. On defense, kind of watching, trying to call some rotations, and then just tanking the heavy. But clearly they know something I don't, because that worked pretty well for them. So, I mean, the other thing that I think is important to check in these logs, let's look at it. So the heals, S-Dog got a lot of heals out. I mean, he was really trying to heal his team. But that drop really cost them, and then it was just the coordination. That's why stats sometimes lie to you a little bit from that perspective, because, I mean, they were outdoing them on the frags, a little bit outdoing on the damage, as you'd expect out of a team that's higher seeded. They're first, I think Cat Ranch is 8th or 9th or something in the division, but really it's not always about DM, especially on a map like Steel. It's about being able to outposition and kind of outcall the other team in terms of saying, what are we going to try to force you to do?